And welcome back to Block TV. Time for Trader's Take. And actually, it's been quite a, one would say, green week thus far, so to speak. And to help us understand where and why we're standing there, we're going straight to the East Coast in the United States. We're joined by our one and only technical analyst, Joe Saz. Joe, how are you? And I gotta say, I gotta say, I was expecting to see you today actually with a margarita in one hand and a big and some little fireworks, because it's green pastures. But are you not happy or just cautiously optimistic?
I'm cautiously optimistic. I would say I'm cautiously pessimistic. I'm still not convinced of anything yet. This is a big move, and 14% upside action over the course of a couple weeks is definitely good looking. But I still don't think this is changing the narrative. I still think that we're looking at overall despair, probably phase psychology, market conditions, and I don't expect single days to change the technical or external narrative for what's happening in price. These are two big days, and this is volatility that we're used to seeing in the crypto asset space, or like specifically with Bitcoin and a number of these altcoins. But I'm still, I'm not playing anything until I'm convinced that we're looking at.
No, I know, and that's why I want to ask you, because you do tend to sleep with one eye open. But what would constitute to you us having a conversation where I see you with the margarita in one hand? How many days or weeks do we have to be in the green?
Yeah, so what I would need is for us to stay the heck out of this territory and not come back. We 31 held. We bounced out of there, and then we hit 35 again, and that held a little bit, and then we bounced from 33 to 36. So what I need in order to have, and if you want to see me with a margarita, I want us to be trading above 4,200. I want us to break above the. Let me switch real quick to the share screen here.
Good.
Just so you can see. I want to. This is let's call this my margarita line.
Okay.
If we're trading above this and it's sustained, I'll be. This is where I'm cautiously optimistic.
Right.
Once we break back above this area, where let's just say a continuation of this triangle, the bottom of it. Mm-hmm. Once we're back above that level and we're holding, I'm going to be very confident. This is going to be my.
That's when you start sleeping with both eyes closed. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now let's go through the charts. We're already in the charts. Take me through the charts.
So yeah, let's run through it here. So we had two massive days, right?
Yeah.
I'm calling this a payday pump. This happened right on a Friday, and that's the volatility I'm kind of used to in this space. We started to fall, and we pumped right back up. I'm calling this one the Chinese New Year move. Historically.
Why the Chinese New Year?
Sorry, what was that?
Well, you're calling it the Chinese what?
This is a Chinese New Year's move. Like Chinese New Year typically has a lot of interesting price action every year. It's something that we can look at. When we have more time, we can explore some of these past anomalies. Like, why is the Chinese New Year so impactful on price action? Well, the majority of let's just say the East is the fastest to adopt blockchain tech, Bitcoin as a legal currency in Japan,
right.
Bitcoin as a legal currency in South Korea. So the East is a little more quick to adopt this as an emerging, currency application, in the form of adoption. And seeing, those holidays have more of an impact than Christmas for us or something, or, Western New Year or whatever you want to call it.
Happy Chinese New Year entirely then. Okay, charts. Let's go through the charts.
So running along here, here's a 15-minute chart, and this is the thing. This action looks pretty good looking.
Yeah.
This doesn't look like straight up pumps and dumps. This is actually looking pretty nice. Looks like we kind of have like a weird head and shoulders here. Didn't really break down though. We actually broke back up, broke out to the upside. So I'm saying I'm neutral right now. I'm not entering because I'm very cautious. But this is some weird activity, and I'm neutral. I feel like there's enough hope here that might carry us a little further into the 4K territory. Wouldn't be surprised if that happens. So let's just see. Keep watching
fabulous.
The 15-minute chart, and obviously if you're holding, let's hope for a 4K move.
Okay.
Now this is something that was really interesting to me.
Which
if
was?
you see here, we fell from about 38,000 long positions over the course of the past 2 days since that pump happened, down to 28,000. That's 10,000 less short positions on Bitfinex. Now, what this tells me is that all these long positions were hoping for a Hail Mary pass. And for the past number of weeks, I've been saying, look, the ratio of longs to shorts with longs dominating short positions hasn't been panning out. And I feel like this Hail Mary pass that has now been received and they scored the touchdown, everyone was like, all right, that's the end of the game here. It looks like, based on the numbers here, I'm seeing something really weird. These people were expecting the Hail Mary, they caught the pass, and now they're pulling out, they're closing out their positions. But interestingly enough as well, a number of short positions closed out too. So, obviously the ratio is still much greater in favor of longs. So there are some people out there that are expecting the price to continue upward. But it was really interesting. We see a downward move here in, closing out short positions, and a huge downward move closing out long positions. Right. So that's a really interesting thing that I'm going to have to investigate further.
Please do.
This narrative hasn't changed much. Overall, we're still looking at a bear market. We're still looking at a very similar move here, an ascending triangle. We reach the top of this ascending triangle and we break down. So I'm still convinced this bear market is not over.
Not over yet, so and I think actually the people we've spoken with are with you on that front. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And
so,
Yeah, no. I mean, one eye open, as we said. Take us through the altcoins, looking at Ether. Yes.
Okay, so here we are. Big moves across the board. Same thing, Friday pump, Chinese New Year. Let's just see how this sustains. Right now, we're looking at two very bullish candles. This candle, we just need to see how it closes. It could very much look like a pump and, go sideways for a bit. So let's just keep playing this out. There's the moving averages aren't telling us much. There's still a pretty big gap here between the 50 and 200. I would say we're looking at, let's look at the back test here. It's at a 5 out of a 9 count, moving up to a 9 sell. So it's possible we could get all the way up here, 4 days from now, and look at a 9 sell and head back down.
That's
so
a dark
I'll leave this
prediction.
Up here.
Yeah.
I'll leave this up here for us to use as reference over time.
Yeah, no, good idea. Litecoin.
So Litecoin, and this is one of the more interesting ones. Here we are touching the bottom of that descending triangle, right? We're now trading it, and it's now resistance. Kind of have this weird cup and handle thing. It's not really a full cup and handle. It's lacking up here. But here would be like the cup kind of handle formation. Looks like we're hitting this, and we're treating it as resistance. This is really, I'm curious to see what happens here. Once we start trading above this in, sustained volume, like this, we keep trading like this good volume. We keep trading above this line. I think that's going to be really interesting for something like Litecoin. I think it might possibly detach from Bitcoin for a little bit, similar to how Tron was acting or how XRP has acted in the past. So let's just continue to watch this. I'm really curious.
And Ripple.
XRP, we had a big day as well.
Yes.
We're not beating this markup here. This is one thing I'm looking for, to see how we reach this line.
Right.
I just want to see what happens. We're not even close. There's still a little bit of a ways to go. Obviously, my beliefs on Ripple and JPM coin entering the space. So
was this surprising to you though with Ripple then?
What's that?
Was this surprising to you therefore? Ripple.
This upside move? No, I think there's a lot, especially in Japan. There's a lot of support for Ripple. There's a lot of people. I think Ripple has done an excellent job deceiving its investors. People are convinced it's a decentralized cryptocurrency that brings innovation to the space and is going to take over Bitcoin. So
Yeah, no. Love that you don't hold back. But okay. And the big one of the week.
To close it out, let's keep our eye on Tron. It looks like my channel is no longer here, but it was something like this, right? We had this moving channel. I've been expecting us to have a bearish crossover in this area right here where we head back down.
Right.
And
this is Tron.
This has done a little bit to keep these moving averages from starting their, descent for this death cross. But the narrative hasn't changed much. We've gone sideways. We're still down. Even though we had this pump, We're nowhere near here. This line, let me just move this back over here a little bit so we can see. So this has been quite a bit of resistance, right?
Right.
And we're nowhere near it. So I'm not bullish on Tron. I'm not really bullish on anything. I think that there is an external narrative driving the buying action. I'm not convinced that anything tells me. There's two things that this action tells me. It tells me, A, that there's not that many people trading in the space. That means there's only traders trading in the space, right? If there's only traders trading, that means that the first trader to enter a position based on, just quickly, I'm going to show you something really fast here.
Please, and then I want to move to the winner of the week. Yes.
Okay, so this is just something really quick. This looked like a nice cup and handle, right? This was, if we zoom in a little bit further, I was expecting us, even though this pulled back, we still met this line. And let's just say, these are just quick drawings, but on a quick technical level, here's the cup, here's the handle, here's the breakout. And so that tells me, there's a lot of really technical looking stuff out here right now. And if traders are the only people moving this price action, some people entering the space, some traders re-entering the space, then it just tells me that this isn't a signal for any sort of optimistic market reversal. We're still right where we left off.
A long-term reversal. Yeah. No,
yeah.
Right.
And here we are. Here's some recent action. Here we are. We're double topping. Let's see how we break out. Let's retest that 4,200 and see how things go. And yeah, so I mean, as far as winners for the week, I think the award goes to. I'm just going to give the award to Litecoin. Litecoin's had some amazing.
But what about
price
EOS?
action.
Hold on, Joe. I mean, EOS was the top performer, one can say. No?
Let's check. Right, EOS is right over here. Now let's see. Top performer. We're looking at 21%. Yeah, that is a big winner. And that's some nice volume, some nice follow-through volume. So here we have a big volume with a lot of price action, and we have close volume with less price action. So that tells me we're meeting resistance. I don't know. I'm not looking at their order book for EOS right now, so I can't tell you what's being eaten up, support or resistance right now. This could mean that someone had a lot, like a 200 or a lot of EOS in the books, right, for a limit buy.
Right.
And this could mean someone sold into it or someone bought into a lot of resistance. So I don't really know what to see. I need to look at an order book here, but this volume is looking pretty good for EOS right now, which has historically been performed well despite other cryptocurrencies performing poorly. So EOS is always something to look at. 21% is a huge win. If I was sitting on that, I would probably have a margarita right now. Yeah.
Okay, note to self. But I think I know exactly when we'll see a margarita for you. In fact, I actually hope we'll see one in the coming weeks. Because if this continues, I'll hold you to your word of drinking on the air. Joe Saz, our one and only technical analyst, thank you so much for joining us today on Traders Take. That was Traders Take for today. Please don't forget to check us out, BLOCKTV, on every social platform you have, Facebook, Twitter, Telegram, and we will be right back.